Thanks for having me. I was going to start my story with what immediately led me into Seniors Helping Seniors, and someone this morning reminded me that my story really does start a little further back than that. So I grew up in the military. My dad was a Marine, and then I married into the military. I married my high school sweetheart. It's right there. And we went to college together, and I had all these hopes. I was a journalism major, a marketing minor. I wanted to be a female sports reporter, and that was before all the female sports reporters that we have now. But Otis had other plans for us, and he joined the Army and took me to Fairbanks, Alaska, the middle of nowhere. Really hard to find a job there, and then we decided we wanted to have kids, and then he went Special Forces. Totally changed our life, and we made a decision that I was not going to work, that he was not going to be home, and I was going to be there for my kids. So I would do volunteer stuff. I was a youth director in Alaska. I worked with the Red Cross. I volunteered at the high schools and the thrift stores. And then our kids got in high school, and Otis retired. And now it's like, what am I going to do? So I did get a job. I got a job in a dental office in Fountain. And that was all good. I was enjoying it. And then one day on a Monday, I was driving from Monument to Fountain, and I called my mom. My dad was having a stent placed that day. And I wanted to make sure they were at the hospital and they were being taken care of. And my mom proceeded to tell me, we're not at the hospital. We canceled the surgery. And I was like, Mom, you can't cancel that. That's his heart, and this is really important. And she's like, well, I fell and broke my wrist on Friday. And I'm trying not to harp on the fact that she didn't call me and tell me she broke her wrist. And she's like, can't drive. And Dad can't drive after the surgery, so we're just going to quit. We're done. We're not going to do the surgery. I am extremely close to my parents, and I was not going to let that happen. So I said, reschedule it, because I know it takes weeks to get on a surgical schedule. So I drove to work, talked to my boss, gave 2 weeks notice, and quit my job. 3 weeks later, I was on a plane, and I was in Texas, driving my parents to doctor's appointments. So when everything went well, and I come back, and I have no job. So I start volunteering again. When my youngest went off to college and we became an empty nester, I was really at a loss. Working at the high school anymore didn't sound right because my kids weren't there. So Otis said, you need to figure out what you are passionate about, and you need to figure out what you would volunteer to do, and you need to make it your business. So I gave it some thought, and I've worked with kids, and I've done the Red Cross thing, and I decided what I really wanted to do was help seniors. And I also wanted other children to not have to quit their jobs to go take care of their parents. So we found Seniors Helping Seniors, and I got into this. And for me, not only am I helping the seniors, but I hire seniors. So all my employees are retired seniors that are wanting to give back, looking for something to do, and help with things like housekeeping and meal prep and personal care and transportation like my parents needed. And pairing seniors with seniors, my clients love it. They get somebody closer to their own age, someone they can relate to, someone they don't feel like is babysitting them. And my caregivers are in there because this is where their heart is. They're not necessarily doing it for an income. And so they're not looking at their watches, they're not on their phones playing, they're there fully engaged. So I want to share with you real quick a text I got last year from a caregiver. And it said, Suzanne, my heart is full. I want to thank you so much for hiring me and introducing me to George and Sally. I got her to let me help her with a full shower last night without her daughter being there. I knew this job would be good for my soul. I had no idea just how much it would mean to me. And my response was, this brings tears to my eyes. I'm so glad to hear your heart is full. This is why we do what we do. I feel so blessed you found us, and in turn, helped our clients. That's the reaction I get from my caregivers, and that's what makes what we do so important. And I'm also a CSA because I wanted to take it a step further, and I wanted to just be a resource. So I'm a certified senior advisor. I go to conferences. I take continuing education credits to stay current on all things seniors, so they can call me even if it has nothing to do with non-medical home care.